Heavenly Father, together tonight, we thank you for our health and our ability to be here. We ask your blessing and comfort for those who may be suffering or in need. Father, examine our hearts and fill us with your wisdom so that the fruits of our effort will bring glory to you and you alone. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Brenda, if you'll call roll.
Peterson,
Present.
Topete,
Present.
Cifuentes, West,
Here.
Perkins,
Here.
Thorne,
Here.
Kane,
Here.
Snow,
Here.
Schramm,
Here.
Wells.
Here.
All right, I know that you've had an opportunity to review the minutes of our January 27 meeting. I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the meeting of the January 27th meeting. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, next one we've got is presentation of proclamations. We have none for this evening, so we will move on to public comments. Anyone wishing to address the council is invited to step to the podium, state your name and address, and please limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Good evening, council persons. My name's Tom Brecken. I live at 1816 South Maple. And geographically speaking, that's about 2.5 blocks north of the Pizza Hut. And we got a serious problem on Maple Street, especially during Marion days. Maple Street's only wide enough for 3 vehicles. And during Marion days, there's 4 days we just get home about 3 o'clock and stay home. Because it's after 3 o'clock, it's a head scratcher. You go out there and watch. My proposal is let's turn Maple and maybe Main Street both into one-way streets. One north, one south. That way, people just driving by looking for a place to park, but you get cars coming this way, going that way. 2 or 3 cars get behind them, and then where do they go? Now they're trying to back up. It's just and my biggest fear has been for a long time is emergency response. If we needed fire and rescue, it wouldn't happen. When minutes count, it's not going to happen there because you can't get down the street. My wife went to Wilkinson's Pharmacy when her mom was sick and dying. Took her 35 minutes to go 2.5 blocks and back home to get prescriptions. So it's a cheap, fix to the problem. It's just signage. It's all it would take. There's no construction involved. It's minimal expense, but it would really, really help to benefit the people of Maple Street, for sure. From Centennial to Garrison, I'd make them one way. And, it's all about moving traffic. We put in traffic circles to move traffic. Be honest with you, when they first did it, I thought, I don't know about this. And it's the best thing that ever happened. And I believe one-way streets on Maple for sure. And I would consider Main Street as well. One north, one south. So just something for you folks to think about. It would definitely help us a lot.
What was your address again?
1816 South Maple.
Thank you.
And if anybody lives in that area, they know what I'm talking about. Traffic don't move, and it should. It's simple. You're going one way, you can afford to park on either side of the street, get to the next street. Instead of, going up and down the streets and back. I mean, it's a mess out there, it is. And it's dangerous for the people that live there that can't get medical attention if they needed it. So that's all I have to say.
So you're just proposing Marion days?
No, I wouldn't.
Or
no.
all the time?
I use Maple Street to go north all the time to Centennial, and they always have to stop and, let a car go by, or they have to stop and let you go by. It's unnecessary stopping that don't need to be done. If it's a one-way street, there'd be no stopping, period. And if you're backing out of the driveway, depending on how much faith you have in humanity, you'd only have to look one direction backing out. Now this traffic's only going to be coming one way. So, something for you to think about. I mean, I'd like to see it done if all possible. It would really help us. Thank you.
This is, would have to go through our safety committee to start off with.
before it would get to the full council though.
Well, I think it'd be a good idea to get the wheels rolling on it, I really do.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous, guys. Like I say, fire and rescue, they couldn't get down the alleys, they couldn't get nowhere. Where you only get 3 cars there, you know, 1 parked on each side, you got 1 in the center, is all it can travel. And Main Street is wider, you can get 4 on there, but it's close. So why not make them one way, you know, different directions? Any other questions?
But you're proposing from Centennial
To Garrison. Yes, sir.
To Fairview.
to Fairview.
Fairlawn, or yeah, I guess that's what it's called. But like I say, it wouldn't cost nothing but signage.
How many blocks are involved in?
What, there's 7 blocks there?
5,
Well, yeah, one's long blocks,
yeah.
5 to 7 blocks. So, I think it'd benefit everybody.
Well, going all the way out, yeah, it would be.
I really do. So thank you for hearing me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alan, can I ask you to put that on the safety committee, points of discussion and coordinate with, obviously, fire and police and Josiah and take a look at least feasibility wise?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the council, please step to the microphone. State your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Hello, everyone. Jana Conklin, the manager of Boots Court Motel and the Visitor Center. And although it's only the beginning of February, I wanted to share with you all about how many visitors we've already had step into the Visitor Center. We've welcomed guests from Florida, Kansas, Georgia, Michigan, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Idaho, Texas, Alabama, California, Connecticut, and Illinois. And then across the globe, we've had Switzerland, Australia, Brazil, Argentina, France, the UK, and the Netherlands. As you can see, the year's already starting big, and we're expecting much more, being that the celebration for Route 66 is 100 years this year. We love promoting Carthage, the local businesses and restaurants, to each visitor that steps through our doors. And we already know of several groups planning to come through and stay in Carthage, and we hope that you all will take part in greeting them and welcoming them as well. There's a motor coach coming from Tulsa, groups from Germany and Australia, a hot rod tour is coming through, American Solar Challenge, Bike Across America is coming as well. We have begun our last green phase over at the Boots Court Visitor Center, and we have tentatively scheduled an event for June 5th, the evening of June 5th, to celebrate Route 66, the travelers, and the community as well. Thank you again for this continued support.
Any questions for Jana? Thanks, Jana. Anyone else wishing to address the council? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to reports of standing committees, starting first with Budget, Ways and Means. Alan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Budget, Ways and Means Committee met here in council chambers last night. Had a few things on the agenda. First item we discussed is Resolution 2112 on the agenda tonight. It's a budget amendment to authorize some expenditures out of the Public Safety Fund for the police department. So that's on the agenda, Resolution 2112. We also discussed Council Bill 2604, which is on the agenda tonight, and that council bill will pertain to council member ward residency, and we'll have it for first reading tonight. Then we also heard from the IT department and the City Hall administration on their capital expenditure requests for the fiscal year 26-27. And I want to remind everyone that this is the month on our budget calendar when you should be hearing the capital expenditure requests, and that's a 5-year plan, and you should hear those in all of your committee meetings this month. I know, Derek, you've already had your committee meeting. I don't know if you guys heard that or if it will be presented at your meeting first Tuesday next month. But as we discussed last night in the budget meeting, this is our opportunity as the council to help our departments prioritize their capital expenditures. Because it is a 5-year plan that doesn't guarantee, just because it's on next year or in year 5, that doesn't guarantee that it will be budgeted for that expenditure for that year. But at least it helps us kind of have a forecast of looking down the road and saying, we're gonna have to do this. And so it helps us, as we're putting the budget together, understand what our priorities are this year and what we need to start looking for our priorities for the next 4 years. We also heard staff reports. I'm sure Ms. Cox will update us on the tax revenues for the month. Sales tax was down a little bit. Use tax was up substantially, so I'm sure she will report on that during her report. Our next regularly scheduled meeting will be the second Monday of next
I
month.
thought we changed that from the 16th.
It's not,
Is that right? Is that different? Oh, sorry.
the 16th of this month?
No, never mind.
Yeah, our next
Yeah.
regularly scheduled meeting will be March the 9th at 5:30 here in council chambers. That's
Anything
all,
else?
Your Honor.
All right, Committee on Insurance Audit and Claims, Derek?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the Committee on Insurance Audit and Claims met this evening in council chambers. The claims report for February 10th was approved, so we will have that before us here shortly this evening. The only other item of substantial business was approving an update to the museum, Civil War Museum Guide job description. The changes were in language more than anything, pertaining to clarifying the days of operation that the museum is open, as well as that the direct report of the museum guide would be the tourism director. So nothing of substance per se, just updating that job description. And at this time, I would make a motion to the council to approve the Civil War Museum Guide job description.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the duty description for the Civil War Museum Guide. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And that was the extent of our business this evening. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next one is Public Safety. Alan?
Public safety is currently between meetings. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is on a different Monday this month. It will be on February 23rd. Our regular scheduled meeting on the 16th is a holiday, so we're rescheduling that to the 23rd at 5:30 here in council chambers.
Thank you. Public Services Committee. Janet?
We're between meetings, but we've met with the YMCA to work out details of running the pools this summer. We have an additional meeting planned for that, so we can nail down that contract. Our next meeting is next week, February 17th at 5:30 in council chambers.
Okay, thank you. Public Works Committee. Derek?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So I'll take us back in time just a little bit to February 3rd, or last Tuesday. Public Works also had a special meeting this evening at 5 o'clock that I'll go chronologically here. But on the 3rd, and you will also see as Council Bill 2607 this evening, is the discussion of the annual asphalt contract. In standard keeping over the years, the low bid was Blevins Asphalt at $71.50 a ton. That was accepted by the Public Works Committee, and again, that will be on first reading 2607 this evening. Additionally, the H.H. Chapel Sidewalk Project, which has hit various obstacles outside of the city's control, unfortunately, but the third round of bidding on this TAP grant project had the low bid come in at $352,000,
with a budgeted amount of $289,000, leaving a delta there of $64,000. And Josiah, please supplement and cut me off if I'm missing any critical detail, but the committee tabled that discussion pending some potential discussions with the R9, given that the intermediate center there's future development planned. This sidewalk would kind of connect all of that with development housing to the school and the schools there. So we're going to see if there's, to cover that extra, if the R9 school district might be willing to assist to accomplish that mutually beneficial goal there. So bids there tabled pending further discussion. And then moving forward to this evening, a special meeting was held to discuss 2 easement agreements related to the industrial park near McKean Brooks Hospital, one between the city and Mercy Health, that ultimately had no changes and no action was necessary tonight. That'll be Council Bill 2606 this evening. And some minor language changes were made to the easement agreement between the city and Swearingen Family Farms. That language was approved by the Public Works Committee, and that will be Council Bill 2605. And these are merely easements for ingress and egress, so access to go onto the property, obviously not owned by the city, so these people are granting that access. Those will be coming up this evening, and I think that hits it all. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Now entertain reports from special committees and board liaisons. Who would like to begin? Jana?
Vision Carthage, they had their annual big fundraiser on January 31st. It was Denim and Diamonds Casino Night, and Sally and Kate wanted to thank everyone for their support that made the event such a success. And I went to this, and Alan went, and Beth went, and it was wonderful. Tracy went, Miranda won the big prize, so it was a great event for them.
And as a daughter of an auctioneer, I will say that the chant that Councilman Snow has is excellent, and that is an art, so.
He's a professional auctioneer. He really is.
I didn't know that.
Well, now we do know that'll be on a trivia contest sometime. The next project is the Red, White, and Bloom initiative. Residents and businesses are encouraged to use those colors in their garden and landscape plans. And they are accepting bids for the new mural that will be near the Farmers Market Pavilion on the back of the bowling alley facing Central.
Okay, thank you. Other reports of board, David?
The library board met this evening. Not too much to report. They had a little bit of snow issues, as everybody did. They were closed a day and a half for snow. Things are moving along nicely. A lot of activity going on over there. They have one issue with utility bills, like most of us, but they're getting ready to do an energy audit. They believe maybe there's an issue with one of the HVAC systems. So that's about all there is to report for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Beth?
Yes, there is a renaissance or revival, I guess you would say, of the Downtown Business Alliance, which really encompasses the businesses on the square. They've had another meeting, I think it was last week, and it was very well attended. People came back of the businesses, and a few more off just one block each way off the square came back as well, or came to the meeting as well, and there were reports and information shared by Melissa, our tourism staffer, and also Julie with the chamber, and a gentleman that's doing some more banners, some advertising banners that the businesses can take advantage of with a fairly reasonable cost. But I think that what you're beginning to see is that they're going to try to keep meeting. I mean, they're doing this after hours, and it's tough when you run your own business, but I think they're finding just sitting in on it, I really think that they're trying to begin to cooperate more, which is, I think, will strengthen their efforts for our downtown.
Okay, thank you. Jack?
The CWEP board will meet next week. That's it.
Okay.
Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday of next week.
Derek?
Thank you, Mayor. I would just briefly note that the Planning, Zoning, and Historic Preservation Commission met on last Monday, and there were 3 certificates of appropriateness up for discussion. The first was for exterior signage at 122 Grant Street, which is the pavilion that will be put in just a block down here north. That was approved, as well as a 21-space new parking area for the public library at the corner of 7th and Maple. That was also approved. And finally, exterior signage at 119 East 3rd Street, a business that was also approved. There was also some continued discussion on the historic design guidelines. That isn't going anywhere yet, or anywhere soon. Still working through those as a committee and shaping those as Carthage needs fit. So that's all there, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports from special committees or board liaisons? Okay, we'll move on to my report. As has been noted already, we've been deep into budget meetings and discussions with the department heads, and we're discovering some things that quite honestly may very well pay some dividends to us as we continue to run that down with regard to the way funds are coming in, how they're assessed, and how we make sure we're getting our fair share, if you will. I was able to attend the legislative kickoff that the chamber hosted for Senator Carter and Representative Loy. Generally speaking, the Jeff City topics are not surprising, and of course everyone who reads the paper here recently, it's all about taxation and income tax or property rates, that sort of thing. So, and they are both very much involved. There's a lot of waiting to see what the governor's going to do from the legislative side of things, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And it was well attended, and both ladies, of course, did a great job or continue to do a great job for us. The chambers continued to host their weekly coffees, and I've had the opportunity to attend a few more of those. As Jana mentioned, I was also able to go to the Vision Carthage Diamonds and Denim, or Denim and Diamonds, I don't know, I didn't wear either, so it didn't make any difference, but it was a good event down at Memorial Hall. I did have an introductory call with Lee Eastburn. Jason, her name may be familiar to you. She is the regional director of the Red Cross, specifically talking about emergency response and disaster recovery and that sort of thing. So a very pleasant telephone conversation with her. She obviously does not get down here very frequently, which is a good thing. We haven't necessarily needed the call, but they are there if we need them. Tree boards continue to do their thing, and I'm certain that we'll see some new plantings come as the spring comes upon us pretty quickly. And last week I was able to go speak to our local Rotary group, which was interesting. And it's kind of the same types of questions you would expect were asked at that, with regard to what are we doing with regard to Kellogg Lake, what are we doing to get the streets repaired in a more timely manner, Josiah, and a lot of the types of conversations I think some of your constituents are already having with you. So, and it's always good to interact with that group. And quite honestly, as I looked around the room, I was impressed and very thankful the fact that all of those local business leaders, a lot of them are serving on our city-appointed boards, committees, and commissions, and bringing their talent in a voluntary standpoint to what's best for Carthage. So that was a great meeting. And that completes my report for this evening, so we will now move on to reports of council meetings. Council members, rather, I'm sorry. And Derek, we'll start with you.
Not much. Thank you, Mayor. Not much tonight. I was just going to note that our Bridge Committee meeting is going to meet this Thursday afternoon, so I'll hope to have a very detailed report at our next council meeting on next steps forward there. Thanks.
Thank you. Juan?
I'm just curious about that chant. Now that's what I'm thinking about right now. So maybe you can give us a little go at it when we're all done. All right. Now, other than that, I don't have anything.
We may use him to shut down debate if it gets to that point in the future.
There you go.
Ray?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Jack?
Yes, I was approached or have been approached by a anonymous family trust to try to find possibly other charities that may need some money. And so I have a list of 20 charities that they have contributed to over the few years. And I'd be happy to share that list with everyone with ideas. If you had an idea of some worthy cause that is not on this list, I think there's approximately $265,000 that could be available, spread out over whatever we have. So just give us some thought. It's pretty interesting. I'll send the list of 20 to everyone, and you can take a look at it, and if there's something that jumps out at you, I'd be happy to hear about it.
Thank you. Anything else?
No.
David?
Nothing. Thank you.
Beth?
Yes, I attended the nonprofit, I guess the nonprofit working group, I would call it, that meets with the support of the Carthage Community Foundation and with the McCumbler's Health Foundation Trust. I was really impressed. As somebody who's worked a lot with nonprofits, there were probably 15 or 20 organizations represented there. And I think that we can be very proud of the kinds of services that organizations are trying to make sure delivered appropriately and meeting the needs in the community. The one I would like to note is that the Economic Security Corporation, that also is really headquartered in Joplin, but the Community Action Agency that also serves Carthage, they have a CARS program, which you may or may not be aware of, and they drive people to medical appointments, and it's all free. And they are looking for more drivers from Carthage to Joplin so that they train the volunteers, and I'm sure it's not arduous, but they do go through a screening process and everything to do that, because people need transportation to go to their medical appointments. And so I think it's something that would be an easy lift for somebody who's looking for a volunteer opportunity like that. So I thought that was important. I also attended with others the legislative briefing that Senator Carter and Representative Loy had. It was very interesting, and I do think that they work very hard on what their issues are that they want to bring forward in the legislature and try to take care of the incoming swath of things that hit them probably every single day. So I think we're getting our money's worth there. And then I attended the CWP board meeting, and I also will be attending this Thursday night. I'm the liaison for the Boots Foundation and Visitor Center, and they're doing some really exciting things. I think it's great. And they do have a QR code that they will give out to guests that has every single restaurant in Carthage here. So, I mean, they're doing a lot of outreach, I think, to try to promote not just themselves, but also the other parts of the community. Thank you.
Yeah. Alan?
I don't have anything this evening, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Janet?
I did attend the legislative update at CWEP Community Room sponsored by the Carthage Chamber of Commerce. And it was nice that Senator Jill Carter and Representative Kathy Jo Loy made themselves so available to the public. They answered questions well after the briefing and stayed as long as we needed them to ask questions. So that was very much appreciated. They'll be back when the legislation closes in September, I believe. May. So May? Okay, in May for an update on that. I attended the RISE quarterly meeting last Wednesday. The RISE Coalition exists to fight human trafficking in our community. The guest speaker was Kim Garland from the Department of Homeland Security Investigations. She addressed the growing concerns for sextortion involving children or internet sites and app sites. This was a very, very interesting meeting put on by the RISE Coalition. They work closely with law enforcement and the hospitals in the area to fight human trafficking and help where they can. Their next meeting will be at the Rafa House in Joplin on May 6th. That's it.
Thank you. Ron?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank Tom for coming and speaking tonight, but I've also had some other individuals in the community contact me about Maple and Main Street. And one main concern was at Mark Twain School. He did not feel that we have a proper or enough signage there, and the people just aren't even abiding the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit as it is. So I would ask Chad and them to take a look at that along with the safety committee if there's anything else we can do for the concerns there at Mark Twain School, because our children's our future, and we don't want to see someone actually get hurt there. And I would encourage other people, if you got a concern, you need to come and talk to us and be willing to come to see the council members to let them know your concerns in order to support us individual boards in supporting you, because that's our main job here, is to see the citizens of Carthage, and that's all our department heads also. We need you to come and speak out in order to support us when we're supporting you. That's all, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I had one more thing that I have spoken with the board member at the Carthage Humane Society, keeping our line of communication open. They haven't met yet to discuss their needs and to come to a contract if that's, that's agreeable. So I just wanted the public to know that we're still in contact and will always be in contact with Carthage Humane Society.
Jack?
I'd like to flesh out what I talked about. It will not be any grant requirement. These will be direct deposits to whatever charitable group. They're not going to go through Carthage Community Foundation. It'll just be request, and if it's approved, a direct deposit to the charity.
Okay. Any others? All right, we'll now move on to the reports of the officers of the city. Jason, let's start with you this evening.
All right. I would like to say March 26th, I told you last time we met that we were getting a storm spotter class with National Weather Service. That will be held March 26th, 6:30 p.m., 18:30 hours, the mayor. Station 2 was with one of the representatives from Springfield, probably Steve Runnels. He's the director, and we have a pretty good relationship with him. But if he's unavailable, it'll be one of his highly qualified people. Next Monday, on the 16th, I know it's a city holiday, but after speaking with the family members from the Fierro family, that's the best day for us to do our annual remembrance ceremony that we do out at Park Cemetery at 2 p.m. 22 years ago on February 18th, Steve lost his life. So we get together still every year and reminisce and try to remember. We've lost some others this year that I worked with that have passed, so it'll be a good time for everybody to get together. It seems like that's the only time we get together anymore, is to remember the fallen. Other than that, just working on capital budgets items, trying to get things squared away after our meetings last week. And I would like to say congratulations to Jason Choate, who was named by the governor. He was appointed to the Missouri Safe Drinking Water Commission, and that's quite a feather in the cap of Carthage and CWEB. So congratulations to him. And that's all I have.
Chad?
So our movements within the department have been completed. We had it was Sergeant Kamick, who was in investigations, got promoted to the training lieutenant position. I think he'll do an outstanding job He's a guy that wears many hats, is knowledgeable in all kinds of areas, so he'll be an asset to the command staff. Hayden Swinehart was a sergeant patrol. He then moved over to a sergeant in investigations, taking Commick's spot. He's in command college this week, so he officially started yesterday, but he's gone this week for training. So, and then Chris Haddock got appointed from patrol officer to corporal, and he'll remain on patrol. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Richard?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few quick things. As we all know, the weather has turned to our benefit, especially the golf crew's benefit. So we're killing at the golf course, and we're also killing at all the playgrounds, but that just means my 3 full-time staff, they're really busting whatever they can to pick up all the trash from the last couple of days. So it's all a good problem to have, though. As the mayor said, we're going into the budget time, so that kind of coincides with the contract side too. So a lot of these contracts are going to be upcoming. Just letting you know, we've got one on the agenda, the second reading for like the youth baseball, but we'll have some more coming down the pipe. And just so everybody knows, I'm the guy who takes all the bullets, and I'm proud to do so because I'm going to make sure everybody follows the letter of the law and the contracts that they've signed before, and they follow the letter of the law and the contracts that we negotiate going forth. So if you get any feedback saying Richard's being mean, probably true. I am being mean. So just letting you know. And Jack, I'm going to be the first in line for your free money for the 4th of July, which I told everybody about. That's how I'm going to end every comment. 4th of July, be there, Central Park. Or no, not Central, Municipal Park. Don't go to Central, you'll be lost. That's all.
Thank you. Josiah?
Yeah, thank you. Just once again, just like everybody else here, budget process, trying to dive into that, and we've got a lot of other stuff going on in our department too. I do want to say that tonight, we'll be voting on the ordinance there for the special use permit for the daycare on the northeast corner of Airport and River. I want to thank Tori for coming. She's out here this evening to hopefully see this thing through, but I think it'll be a great thing for the community. There's no shortage of need for more childcare in Carthage, so I think it'll be a great thing there. Traffic signal update, it did pass MoDOT inspection, and that has been kind of finalized, so we're going to start closing that project out. Everything is finally functioning the way it should. We also have a final walkthrough inspection with MoDOT tomorrow morning on the Hazel Avenue and Airport Drive road widening project, so we'll be able to do the walkthrough there, and hopefully everything goes good. We might have a small punch out list, but we'll get that taken care of and wrapped up there as well. I did want to mention the Blevins contract that came in that Derek mentioned. Actually, the next closest bid, that came in at $71.50 price per tonnage. The next closest one was $86 plus. The next two are really close together, so we're saving quite a bit of money there. And it's actually cheaper this year than the last couple of years' contract. So it actually went down in price. So that's very good as well. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Tracy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Sales tax revenue for the month of February came in at $283,031.02, which is up 2.43% from the same month last year. Year-to-date totals for the sales tax revenue in the general fund, $2,087,729. We are still approximately 0.41% below the total for the same time last year, but we are at 66% of the budget, so we are on track to meet that revenue estimate. For the use tax, we did have an anomaly month. It was a good anomaly, though. It came out in our favor. The use tax came in at $181,415 compared to the same month last year was only $106,318. Year to date, we are at $957,530. and that is 15.27% higher than this time last year. In addition to the mayor's report, he and I also met with Naomi Baker. She is the field representative for Congressman Eric Burleson. And Ms. Baker is just trying to increase citizen awareness of their office that is located in Joplin at 2727 East 32nd Street, Suite 2. And if you have any federal issues that you need help navigating, please stop by their office and they will be more than happy to see what they can do to help you. And that's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. John?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
All right. That completes the reports. We'll now move on to the report of claims presented against the city. Miranda?
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $2,762,759.88.
I move that we approve the February 10th claims report.
I have a motion and a second to approve the February 10th claims report. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is approved. All right, we have no public hearings tonight, so we will move on to old business.
The second reading of Council Bill 2602, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Carthage Little League for non-exclusive use of the baseball fields at the Fair Acres Sports Complex during the summer of 2026 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your votes.
Hold on.
Council bill passes. Move on to new business.
The first reading of Council Bill 2603, an ordinance authorizing a special use permit for the operation of a daycare center located on the northeast corner of River Street and Airport Drive, as requested by Kellen and Victoria Bonos in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
And as noted, Tori is here. If there's any council member that wants to ask her a question, we'll do so. If not, any other discussion? Okay, next council bill.
The first reading of Council Bill 2604, an ordinance amending the Carthage Municipal Code to establish a residency requirement for city council members within the district they represent.
Any discussion? Alan?
So this is, council bill is to kind of close a hole that we had when our charter was first passed. Missouri Revised Statute 77.060 covers residency requirements for third-class cities. And we had that requirement prior to passing our charter. When our charter was passed, the language for residency requirements were not put in our charter. So this council bill will just put in city code the residency requirement to live within the ward that you represent. And I think the language of the council bill is very clear. The residency requirement to file, the residency requirement to remain on council. If for some reason a person would happen to be, well, every 10 years when we redistrict our wards, if the person was to be redistricted out of their ward, they could remain on council by a vote of the council and not immediately be dismissed. But I think it's a very good language. I think it's very good to help strengthen our charter.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yes, I wanted to ask John Gold if he has any concerns whatsoever with this.
I don't, Jana. Alan properly summed it up. 2.1 of the charter says that the city shall, in addition to its home rule powers, have all the powers conferred by law. Another section, 3.6b of the charter, talks about what a council member could do to forfeit their seat, and one of which is not to follow the charter or law. So I think you've got enough evidence authority to add an additional requirement to running for a council seat.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, next council bill.
The first reading of Council Bill 2605, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a road easement agreement with Swearingen Family Farms LLC for the purpose of constructing a road into the Economic Development Park.
Any discussion? Derek?
Yes, I would just, again, very briefly mention this are easements of ingress and egress. This and our next to follow council bill are just access roads to get onto the industrial park. So nothing more, nothing less there. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other? All right, next council bill.
The first reading of Council Bill 2606, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Mercy Health, Southwest Missouri, and Kansas Communities for a temporary construction easement for the purpose of constructing a road in the Economic Development Park.
Any discussion? Okay, next council bill.
The first reading of Council Bill 2607, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Blevins Asphalt Construction Company Incorporated for the annual asphalt paving contract for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the city of Carthage, Jasper County, Missouri at $71.50 per ton of asphalt.
Any discussion? Alan?
I would like to say that I was pleasantly surprised when Josiah told us that the price has actually gone down this year. When we get to budgeting and we budget street repair, street repaving, we look at that dollar amount and how many streets can we get done for X amount of money. So by having the price come down, we might be able to get like an extra 100 feet or 100 yards of streets this year. So I was happy to hear that, Josiah.
Okay, any other discussion? Yes, Tracy?
I would like to thank Josiah for formally bidding this out, and that is what helped drive the cost down.
Any other discussion? Okay, we'll now move on to the next item on the agenda, rather, is mayor's appointments. We have none for this evening, so we'll now move on to resolutions. Miranda.
Resolution 2112, a resolution authorizing a budget adjustment to the Public Safety Fund for fiscal year 2025-2026 for a line item adjustment to Capital Outlay Police Department for payment to Axon for tasers and body cameras.
Any discussion? Alan?
I would move that we adopt resolution 2112.
I'll second that.
I have a motion, a second, to adopt resolution 2112. Any discussion? Alan?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to amend resolution 2112 to the amount of $9,845.52. I believe the resolution that was in our packet was only for $9,800. So I would like to make a motion to amend that amount.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to amend the resolution to indicate the amount as indicated by Alan with the correct amount. Any discussion?
Yes, I wanted to thank Chad for bringing this amount down just a little bit from what we were invoiced. That's very much appreciated. We had a big discussion about this last night, seeing the reason for this expenditure and what had happened. So I appreciate you bringing the total down with this company.
Any other discussion? All right, cast your vote.
We have to vote on the amendment first, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That can just be a voice vote.
I'm sorry?
That can just be a voice
Yeah,
vote.
so first we've got a we've got a motion and a second to amend the resolution as to reflect a different cost as indicated by Alan. All in favor of that?
Aye.
And all opposed? Okay, the amendment is adopted. Next, we'll now move on to the approval of the resolution itself, the amended resolution. So, any other discussion? And cast your vote. Resolution passes. All right, we'll now move on next to closing comments. The only closing comments I have for this evening, essentially to council members, I know several of you have got scheduled activities and other absences in the immediate future. I would ask you to please, particularly with regard to committee meetings and council meetings, please inform Miranda of your availability and/or your program absence so we can determine whether or not we're going to have a quorum for the individual sessions that we're trying to schedule. And if not, obviously in some cases we may have to reschedule some. Other than that, that's all I've got. So we'll start going through, and Jack, we'll start with you. Closing comments.
I'm good.
Thank you. David.
Nothing further, thank you.
Beth.
I'd just like to say also to echo what Jason said about congratulating Jason from CWP for being placed on the Commission for Safe Drinking Water. That's quite an honor and will put us in a lot of visibility across the state and continue our reputation. So congratulations to him.
Alan?
Well, I would like to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day this weekend. Hopefully you find the love of your life, or you've already found the love of your life, and Cupid comes and finds you with some chocolate-covered strawberries or some candy or something like that. So anybody that didn't know, Saturday will be Valentine's Day, so go out.
Thanks, Alan, for that reminder.
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. Janet?
I'm good, thank you.
Ron?
I'm surprised no one said anything about the portrait that we have up over there.
That's true.
For Mayor
Yeah.
Franklin.
Okay. Anything else, Ron?
No.
Derek?
Nothing further, thank you.
Juan?
Nothing further.
Ray?
No closing comments. At this time, I would like to move that we go to closed session according to section 610.021. Section 2, the agenda includes the possibility of a vote to close part of the meeting to discuss of real estate by a public government body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration thereof. And I also would like to move that we go to closed session according to section 610.021. Section 1, the agenda includes the possibility of a vote to close part of the meeting to discuss legal action, causes of action, or litigation involving a public governmental body or its representatives and its attorney.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to go into closed session to discuss first real estate, possible transaction, and secondly, legal issues. Any other discussion? All right, we'll take a voice roll call vote, please. Miranda?
Oh, what's up?
It's on the tablets. Unless you close them.
I thought that one. Okay, there we go.
All right, we'll go into closed session. We'll adjourn upstairs and move upstairs in 5 minutes.
Second.
Back into session.
Peterson,
Present.
Trepete,
Present.
West,
Here.
Perkins,
Here.
Thorne,
Present.
Kane,
Present.
Snow,
Here.
Schramm,
Here.
Wells.
Here.
Motion to adjourn?
All here.
Second.
You have a motion, a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned. Alan, let me grab